My name is Rachel Korn, and I am the proud principal at Reedy Creek Elementary School. This is my 5th year here at Reedy Creek, beginning to plan my 6th year at Reedy Creek. And this is my 15th year, going into 16th year as a principal here in CMS.
Well, congratulations on that. So if you were a new principal and you were just starting out with TLP, what's one piece of key advice you would share to them to help them have a successful start?
So I was a new principal to TLP when I took over Reedy Creek Elementary School. And so probably one of the things that I had to learn very quickly is the wide range of teacher leader opportunities there are for teachers and an understanding of each one of those positions. I really needed to know the difference between what it means to be an EIT2, EIT3, EIT1, what to multi-classroom leader, not only knowing the responsibility that those teacher leaders will have, but the cost of those positions as well. So that was probably just the understanding of the program itself and how those positions can be used to help support your school. To think a little differently about how you've used maybe facilitators and admin and leaders in the past.
Very good. Thank you. All right. So in what specific ways have you seen TLP bring positive changes to your school, community, the students, and staff?
To be honest with you, retention and recruitment is a huge positive with using the TLP program. As a principal of a very large school, we all know that this hiring period can be very hectic. And I have found that given that I have TLP opportunities, I am really able to recruit some teacher leaders that have some great data when they're looking for new opportunities for me to be able to say, oh, well, I can make this work and I can add a TLP to my current staff. That's really been a positive for me. And keeping some of my good staff. To be honest, some of it is a retention ploy of, if I continue to provide them with these leadership opportunities and the extra money, they're not going anywhere on me.
Yes, yes. And shout out to you because you do have a lot of people on your staff that qualify for TLP,
Yes.
which kind of leads us to the next question. If a principal is finding it challenging to attract TLP candidates to their schools, do you have any advice or suggestion or approaches to help them in that aspect?
Sure. So to be honest, I have probably recruited more people who are more facilitators, MCLs. I've recruited more of them to my school than just people who are staying in the classroom using the TLP program. I had a unique situation where so many of my current teachers qualified for TLP that they were staying. I didn't need to recruit them. They just wanted to stay and wanted to know that I was going to fight for them to get these extra leadership opportunities and the extra money. So my recruitment has been, for example, not to give away any names, but I was desperate to find a new math facilitator here at my school. And I'd been struggling for a couple of years to find the right person. And so because I could dangle, hey, I can trade this in for another MCL too, and I can get you this money and this leadership opportunity outside of the classroom. I think I have hired, I'm super excited about my new hire who's coming to join me this year. And so that gives me some leverage. And so it's been a really good recruitment opportunity for me.
Yes, I love that. And then also just to highlight again, I feel like you have built within, right? Like you have the structures in place at your school where you are lucky, not just lucky and fortunate, but you have things in place to ensure that your people will qualify. So that shows that you're doing the right thing within your building even before TLP. All right, so you are a Title I school. So in regards to Title I funds, could you share an example of how you use these resources to help create TLP opportunities and what kind of impact you've seen?
Sure. So I use almost primarily Title I to fund this. I feel like it's only been over the past year or two that the district has provided us some funding. So we get a couple positions and some extra funding right now, but that has not been the case. And so essentially what I do with my Title I pay all my differentials out of Title I. So if I know I need 6 teachers to be TLP teachers, I simply take those 6 ADMs and I exchange them, even exchange, and I use my Title I money to pay for the differentials. And EIT teachers in the classroom, when you have Title I funds, you'd be amazed how far you can get spending differentials that way. It's not till we get up to some of the MCLs that it gets a little bit more expensive. But I use my Title I funds for all of that. I will say, like, it's been a challenge, and it is this year. It's one of the things we made note of this summer to reflect upon is like, how do we keep this up? How do we keep building the program when our Title I funds seem to be diminishing? Because it comes down to you have to make trade-offs at some point. This year was the first year I felt like I went to my TLP leaders and I said, you know what, in order to afford all of you, I can no longer hire this extra position from Title I. And so I need to know that in your leadership capacity, you're going to understand and be able to fulfill the needs that I used to meet with this other position. So it's evolving and changing every year. We're finding new ways to make it work.
I love that. So you prioritized and then went to them and said, here are some leadership things that I need to make sure you're doing to make it crystal clear. All right, I love it. That really concludes most of my questions, but is there anything else you'd like to share about your experience with TLP or any ideas that you have for any other principals who are implementing it?
I think it's a learning curve, right? And you're going to change every year. And if you're first implementing it, you're probably going to start small and then grow bigger. And there's so many different ways you can use this program. I mentioned recruitment and retention, right? But the reality is, the whole point to me of having these amazing EIT teachers in the room is they've proven that they can show growth. And so we really do have make their class sizes larger because I believe a good teacher is a good teacher, and the more kids they teach, the more impact they have. So that's been another big benefit is that class size, that is part of the program is these teachers can have a larger percentage of kids that they're impacting. So that's been a huge benefit to us. And I think being in the program allows you to waive class size as this from a school perspective. So that is also helpful. And just in today's day and age with the new curriculum and the PLC leadership and all this stuff, you have built-in leaders that you need to use to assign all of these roles to. And so, it's all around. Now that I'm in it, and it's just going to keep growing bigger here at our school as long as I keep getting the funds.
All right, noted. All right, thank you, Principal Corn. That
Thank
concludes
you.
our interview.